it's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior Live. I'll be your host today. Please put in the chat where you're from and who you are. When we start reviewing the news articles, if you want to look at our Facebook page, just click here and you can follow the articles along as we go. See you in a moment. And good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm Ron Brown. This is Tech for Senior Live. It is August the 17th, and we are here today to talk about the tech news of the week. We've assembled an international group of people, of learned people who will be here to go over that news with you. So we hope to have a lot of fun over the next hour. Sit back, enjoy some coffee, and we will have a good time. Now, you may be wondering who we are, but we are, of course, the group that's from Tech for Senior, which is our Monday show, which we've been doing now for 4 years, and we're at episode 176 or 77 this week, which will 177, which is so we that's our Monday show, and our Monday show is a Zoom meeting, and you can let me just put up on our we'll put this where are we here? We'll put it up here, and if you go over to www.techforsenior.com, you can see the Zoom link. And if you want to join our show on Monday, we do broadcast it out to YouTube. So if you can either watch it on our Zoom meeting or actually come to the show or watch it on YouTube, and we encourage you to do that. We have a lot of fun, and it's we've been doing it, as I said, for 4 years. Well, this show is the same group, but we don't do a Zoom meeting. So all those of you who are over on Zoom logging in to try and watch us, we're not there. We'll be back on Monday. No, you have to we broadcast this. This is a broadcast live, and we are using a StreamYard to do that, and we're streaming it out to Facebook and YouTube. So if you and on our website, which is right here, you just click the big red button that says take you to the show, and it'll take you to the right place. So if you're looking for where we are today, that's where we are. Now, I'm going to introduce everybody in a moment, but we'd like to know who you are. And if you are listening, because we can't see you, we don't know who's out there listening. The only way we know that you're listening to us is if you put something in the comments and you know, tell us who you are, what the weather is. And actually, if you could tell us if you use Waze, we're interested to find. We're going to be talking a little bit about maps today. We're going to talk about maps that while you're driving. And of course, we're going to talk about Apple Maps, Google Maps, and Waze. And so if you do use Waze and you like it, let us know. We'll put that in the comments. So, and so we have, let me introduce everybody. I guess I'm Ron Brown, and I live on a little island off the coast of the west coast of Canada called Vancouver Island, and it's and that's where I'm from. And the furthest person away from me is Huey. And Huey, do I have to shout? Can you hear me? Huey's over in Florida. That's a long, long way across the world, right?
Yes, I'm on the west coast of Florida, so I'm at least on your side of Florida.
Yeah, but I can hear you pretty good.
Yeah, not bad,
right?
Yeah.
Technology. So how's your day going? What's happening with you?
Actually, last night I did a presentation. Let's see, today's Thursday. Yeah, last night I did a presentation for a user group in Columbus, Ohio, and I had a nice crowd, and we had a good time. I ended up talking more than I should have, but other than that, it worked out pretty good, and we had a
time.
good session
What was your presentation
on browsers.
Oh, browsers. Okay, cool.
Yep, the most important app that you use is a browser.
It is true. We live in a browser, right?
Yep.
Very good. And then, of course, we have from Los Lunas, New Mexico, our security expert. He's our expert on he's been with us since the start of Tech for Senior. He's not only is he an expert security, but he is also an expert on AI, boxing, you name it. He's got it. He's a smart fella, and he is a good friend of ours. And that, of course, is Bob Gostisha from Los Lunas, New Mexico.
No, I didn't know who you were talking about.
You used to box. You used to box. You're a boxer. That's how come you're a tough guy.
He's not a collie. He's a boxer.
I knew the last boxer I knew barked, and I don't do too much barking. Yes, I used to do boxing when I was much younger, Golden Gloves, but that's a long time ago.
It is. It is.
I
So how do
haven't
you do
punched
them, Bob?
anybody out in a long time.
Well, but you don't let them in our show if they're bad guys, do you?
No, those are the ones I knock out, but not this way. Okay.
So how's things in Los Lunas, New Mexico? Hot?
We're warm again. You know, we had a couple of days where, oh my goodness, it felt so great, and now we're back up pushing the 90s, getting closer to the hundreds. Who knows?
All
I
right.
might still get to make that video of an egg on my
Yeah.
mailbox.
We're waiting for that. But we want to see you eat the bacon and eggs afterwards too. You know, that's part of the video.
That I don't know. That won't fit in the shorts.
All right. And of course,
Better watch out how I phrase that.
that's right. That's true. And now, of course, we have a very good friend of ours who is from Oklahoma City, and he's a great fella. He's a smart guy too. Of course, we're all smart, right? And he's smart because he knows all the operating systems. He talks on Mac, he talks on Windows, he talks about Chromebooks. Bill James is an expert. Plus, he's a gadget guy. He loves gadgets. He has a gadget article that he writes every Tuesday for us. He's a real smart guy, and that's why we have him on the show, because we need to listen to what he has to say. And that's Bill James from Oklahoma City.
Thanks, Ron. That's very kind. I think I'm I forget that term phrase. You know,
Ambidextrous.
no, master of Jack, what is it? Master of many. I can't remember.
Expert of none. Master.
Yeah, expert of
Master
none.
of none.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I like just testing. My limits, and I'm very curious about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so I always like a challenge. So
Well, we're
I have
we're really happy because Bill's doing a series for us on Tech for Senior on Macs. Bill's a recent convert to the Mac operating system, and we really wanted to do more Apple stuff on our show. So he's hanging in there, and he's doing a great job.
Well, thank you. Not a convert. No, I haven't converted. I'm just
I thought you.
a practitioner.
All right, that's cool. Although every time I see you on the Monday show, I said, Bill, what computer are you using? And you're always using your Mac.
And the reason why I use it, because it does have a superior battery life, for one thing. It has a better picture,
Right.
and better speakers. So the hardware of these devices are fantastic as compared to, the other laptops. Depends on the manufacturer and how much you pay for a PC, but
All right.
but most of us, just buy a inexpensive laptop and go for it. But you also don't get the best speakers or screen for that price point.
All right. Huey, is there anyone listening? Are we just yakking by ourselves here? Is there actually anybody listening to us?
Yeah, there are a few, and I'll take a look at that in just a second. Two things I want to say. One is I don't call I call myself a generalist.
Generalist, that's better.
Then I know a little bit about a lot, but I'm not real good at all of it.
I like that. That's
I like that.
that's a good term. Generalist. Thank you,
And
Commissioner.
and one of the local hospitals in Tampa has a line in their ads that I think is just fantastic. Is we don't practice medicine, we define it. I love that line.
All right, let's have a look.
Okay,
and see.
let's take a look and see who's out there listening to us ramble on here.
Gerald Smith is from West Seattle. Gerald's from West Seattle. 80 later today. What do you think of Leo Laporte Gibson's? Think of Leo Laporte Gibson securing show.
That's Steve Gibson's security show.
Oh, the Steve. Oh,
yeah.
I don't listen to it all the time because I don't understand Steve Gibson. It's so complicated that it is most of the stuff is way above my pay grade. But it's great, it's a great show, and I occasionally listen in just to reassure myself that I don't understand anything they're talking about. So, but I listen to Leo Laporte regularly, actually every morning, because I listen to all his podcasts. It's just that's a real complicated one. You guys are smarter than I am anyway, so maybe you can figure it out. But I just don't understand Steve Gibson and all the things.
Yeah, every once in a while there's something interesting on there, but
yeah
for the most part it's above my pay grade.
It's a long slog to get a few tidbits of information. Ed says 82 partly cloudy in central New Jersey. Jolyn, greetings from low country of South Carolina, and a way too humid 85 degrees rising up to 90 degrees. That's definitely in the humidity. You're right. Yes, that's very, very humid. Jolyn, of course, is a good friend of ours. She's a tireless worker for their computer club, and also helps us with learning Chromebooks. Bernard, Sterling Heights Computer Club, Detroit, Michigan. Jolyn said also following from Facebook. Very good.
So she has us in stereo.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but there's a delay.
Geeks on Tour. Hey, hello from the Bahamas.
Hey.
There you go. They're off. Of course, Geeks on Tour are part of the Tech for Senior group, and they do regular segments on our show. Chris and Jim are in the Bahamas on a conference. Now, they said conference, but I suspect it's monkey play. I think Jim wants to go there to do some diving. I think that's why he's really in the Bahamas. Murray says, good morning from Victoria, BC. Another lovely sunny day. Looking forward to the show. Never heard of Waze. That's because you spelt it wrong. It's not Wayze. That's why you can't find it. So we'll explain that in a minute. Murray says, I couldn't call our island little. Hey, Murray, I don't want to tell him all about it because everyone's going to want to come here. Bob Bellevue, Bob Baxter, Bellevue, Washington, 83 degrees, heading for 90. Steve Powell, Kirkland, Washington, 71 degrees and sunny. Murray says, I actually did cook an egg on the sidewalk in southern Alberta one very hot day, and yes, I did eat it.
No salt.
Make it short out of it. The question is,
no salt, just sand.
Just there you go. There you go. Brian, I prefer Waze. I don't use Google Maps as much. When I use Apple Maps, you always seem to get proceed to route, which overwrites the next turn and have missed turns because of this. Very interesting. Brian, that's good interest. We're going to talk a bit about Google Maps and Apple Maps in a moment as well. I was wondering if you've used Apple Maps lately and what your thoughts are, because there's been a really big change in Apple Maps over the past year, and they've got a lot better. And have you tried it recently? If you could let us know, that would be great. Irving says, hi from Ottawa, 75 degrees today, and with a storm warning for the afternoon. You guys are getting a lot of rain. Yikes. Really enjoy the newsletters. Oh, well, thank you so much. That's such a nice comment.
Yes.
Huey and I put all that work in those newsletters, and you're the first that has said something nice about the newsletter you a big round.
There's also a newsletter
Thank
on
you.
Tuesday.
That's true. That's true. And that segment in it. But thank you so much for the kind comment about newsletters. That really makes my whole day. Jolin says, "Jack of all trades, master of none."
you.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Thanks, Doctor.
Sally, hot. Expect cooler weather tomorrow, Kirkland, Washington. Vale Williams, my favorite buddy from Silveridge. We fixed a lot of computers together. He's a real techie tech, but also an Apple guy. I use Waze Maps, best real-time traffic info. Good point. We're going to talk about that. Yes, we're going to talk about that. Okay, so there we go. Let's good group of people listening. So let's talk about. Let me just get my list up here. So the article this week was Waze versus Google Maps, the best navigation app for Android Auto. So, and of course, we spelled Waze W-A-Z-E, not Wise, which of course is the cameras. It's a camera company. So one of the reasons I want to talk about this today was because a lot of people don't know what Waze is, and they've never heard of it. So I thought, oh, that's interesting. And I wanted to give you my experience about it just briefly. And I'll try to make this short because I want to look at the article. But so I'm in Canada and I'm at Costco last week and I downloaded Waze, which works similar to Google Maps. In fact, Google, there's some relationship between Waze and Google, whether Google, I don't think Google actually owns them, but they have, it's a tight, they're basically the same, getting it from the same database, I think. I guess, did they actually own it?
Yeah.
Yes, they bought it.
They do.
Yeah.
Okay.
The difference is user input on Waze, no user input on Google's.
Right.
Yeah.
So I downloaded it, and I was sitting at Costco before it opened, and I downloaded Waze and put it on my phone. And the first problem I had was I have a new 2023 Toyota RAV4, and I have Android Auto in it, and it pairs my phone. And when Android Auto comes up on the screen, of course, it comes up with Google Maps, and I couldn't figure out how to get Waze on my screen and how it all worked. So anyway, went into Costco.
Google it.
Well, it came out, and I on my phone, I started Waze, right? Well, as soon as I started Waze, it synced into Android Auto and it brought it up. So it did. So the first thing is, if you have Android Auto on your machine or your car, as soon as you click to Waze, then it will of course it'll come up and it's no problem. You don't actually have to select it on Android Auto or anything. It just to me, it just happened, right? So then, okay, so I said, okay, take me home. And I put what home was. And so it chose a route that I don't usually take, but it's okay. It said it was 1 minute faster. All right. So I thought, well, okay, I'll follow the route. So off I go and we follow the route. And just as we're going down one of the main streets, guess what? There is not construction, but hydros there cutting trees, and it's down to one lane and there's an obstruction, right? So it didn't work out that it was 1 minute slower. It was about 5 minutes faster. Now, Waze should have a lot of input to that, and it should be a part of what Waze does is it has crowdsource input, and it's supposed to give you accurate, up-to-date information. But probably because we're in a very rural area, nobody uses it here. There's no data going in. It was of absolutely no benefit. And I got home and it did fine. To me, it just like Google Maps. It gave me turn-by-turn descriptions and how to get home and all that sort of stuff. There wasn't really, I didn't see any big difference there, but it didn't do what it was supposed to do, but primarily because that's probably in a very rural area. So that was my experience with Waze. So now you and I were talking about this. We will talk a little bit about Waze, of course, is the big difference between the two is the input from people. In other words, people actually crowdsourcing puts the traffic information into Waze. So you have very accurate, up-to-date information, which of course would work much better in a very urban area like San Francisco or Los Angeles, where you're constantly, there's accidents and there's traffic pattern changes. So, but the question Huey and I have, of course, is that it's you need another driver in the car, because in Canada, at least in British Columbia, it's very strict rules on driving and texting and putting things into phones, and even touching a phone can give you really big problems. So you know, Waze probably 10 years ago, it worked a lot better than it does today. I guess it just depends on how many drivers in the car. I don't have a lot. That's my experience with Waze. Let's see what the article says about Waze. So both Waze and Google Maps support user-friendly interfaces with different design philosophies. Google Maps features a cleaner and more streamlined interface, highlighting important information and keeping display clutter-free. On the other end, Waze embraces a more colorful, playful design and uses icons, illustrations to create unique visual experience.
Yeah, the other thing with Waze too is with people inputting information, they can put a car's on the side of the road. It's not an obstruction, but at least you know there's a car on the shoulder. It's not a problem. Or they'll tell you that there's a police activity in this area. Or there's a cop pulled off to the side. So you know where the various radar and police are lurking to try to catch you. So it is the crowdsourcing. But like you say, you've got to have a passenger, not another driver.
That's right. That's
right. Passenger that can put things in, but a lot of people do. So that's how things get in.
Right. Well, Google Maps does do the speed traps, because I've used it when I was coming back. Google Maps, you can put speed traps in. And in fact, on Highway 95, when I left Phoenix one day, there were 5 speed traps in over 100 miles, and it got them all perfectly. It was great. So it was good. Real-time traffic updates. Waze is renowned for its real-time traffic updates and crowdsourced data. It collects data from users to provide real-time traffic alerts, road closures, accidents, and even police presence. This feature makes it particularly handy for navigating through congested areas and avoiding traffic jams. While Google Maps provides traffic information, its data may not be as immediate or as user contributed by Waze, right? So that's exactly the difference between what you're looking for. I guess where Waze, if I was maybe in a very urban area and I was commuting every day, probably Waze would be great, because you want really snappy, up-to-date information to make traffic ideas. Is that fair to say, you guys?
Yep, I would say so.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
When it comes to choosing the fastest route, both apps employ different algorithms. Waze takes into account user-generated data to suggest shortcuts and alternative routes, often leading to quicker arrival times. Google Maps, on the other hand, learns historical data and broader network of mapping resources to determine optimal route.
And
there is shorter and there is faster. Also remember those two terms.
Right.
Because there is a difference between the two. Shorter does not mean faster. Faster does not mean shorter. Well, it's a fact.
Yeah.
Right. Points of interest. Google Maps shines when it comes to search for points of interest. Its vast database provides detailed information about various business, landmarks, and reviews, making it a great tool for discovering new places. Waze, while also offering POI information, may not be as robust as Google Maps, even though they're both owned by Google.
Yeah, but they concentrate on different things as their main selling point.
Sure.
Now, I use a GPS. I don't know where you want to interject that in our conversation. You want me to wait, or you want me to talk about it?
No, I think that's fine. You use Garmin, right?
I use a Garmin, and I just looked up at the beginning of the show. I went back and looked at my files. It looks like I bought it in November of 2009.
It's a long time ago. So I wonder if have you updated the software?
It's software and maps, and the first one I had, you had to pay for a subscription, every year renew it and to get the newer maps.
Right.
But this one, it's lifetime maps, and they keep updating them almost every time I've brought it in from the car and it brought it in the house. I plug it into the computer. The software recognizes it and says, "Oh, there's new maps to be installed. There's new software," and it does it, and it's great.
Right.
And I really like it. There are points of interest of POIs. I can click on restaurants, and it'll give me all the restaurants in the area, and I can choose one, or I can type in which restaurant I'm looking for. The same thing with grocery stores, and it will find the nearest one. I tell it go there, and it maps it out for me in the Garmin directly.
The newer ones actually use Wi-Fi to do updates, provided, of course, it's plugged into a live connection. So if you don't have enough battery power and you're not plugged into something that's live, that update's not going to help you because it won't happen. Mine sits in the garage, but and I have Wi-Fi in the garage, but it's not plugged in. And without being plugged in, it's not going to update because it'll never last long enough to do that.
Now, the one I have has an FM signal.
Right.
And so every once in a while, as I'm driving down the road, it'll say traffic ahead, right, or I'll see a red stripe in the map showing where the slowdown is. And it's usually pretty accurate.
Got a bad route and want to improve it. Got a good route, but think it can be even better. Well,
hold off. We want to. I want to get on with this. Google Maps versus Apple Maps availability, and again, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but Apple Maps has made a lot of changes in the last couple of years. And this article you'll see it later on today is that Apple Maps has really come a long way, and I guess but it's only available for people who use Apple products. So it is something that you might want to take a look at if you do have an iPhone. Now, I just wanted to go into the comments because we got to get into the news article.
Yep.
Betty says, "Hello from Clearwater, Florida. I have used Waze and Google Maps, but never rely on either. They always take the long way to get there and only main route."
Change your settings.
Change the settings in that. Yeah. I like Waze for giving info on traffic jams. Yeah. And that, Betty, I think that's correct. I think most people, that's one of the reasons why people use Waze. Brian says, "Yes, I have used Apple Maps back in July and went back to Waze because of the proceed to routing thing." Okay, good point. That's a really good point. Thanks for that information. Jolin says, Google Maps works for me most of the time. Yep. Okay. And John says, Google is the parent company of both navigation apps.
Right.
Brian says, Apple Maps also allows you to enter data called report an accident or incident. It has 3 options: crash, hazard, and speed check. But again, you have to actually be physically touching the device and, working on your phone to enter that information in, right? Clark says, I use TomTom's GPS. I get an update almost every other day via Wi-Fi. Shows the latest construction info.
Ron, I was noticing that on my Samsung phone, I can use Google Assistant. So that means that I can use voice commands to give Waze instructions.
Yep. There you go. That's great. Yeah. Vale says all auto manufacturers also update navigation maps yearly, which are similar to Garmin.
Yeah, but we get them a lot sooner.
Yeah.
If you do it every year and you've got major changes going on in your area, it's like with your operating system. The sooner you get it updated, the sooner you get the new stuff.
And I think now with most of the new cars, it's all Android Auto or Apple Play. It's all synced to your phone. I think I'm not sure if they still have. I guess I remember on my old truck I have a proprietary GM navigation system, which I haven't used or paid for since I bought the truck. But it's there. And anyway, all right.
I have a proprietary one also.
Do you?
I have neither.
I have to pay for.
Yeah.
But it periodically downloads updates.
Right.
But some of them are too large, and I have to capture them on a flash drive and then put them into the car.
Right.
But other times if they're small, they were update automatically.
All right, let's move on. And I think, Huey, are we caught up to date? Let's do the article.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Let me just we'll come over here and we will share my screen and we will share
And refresh, make sure we're on the same. I'm doing the same thing.
We're on the same page. And if you want to, let me just put up here. We'll just come over here. And this is our Facebook link if you want to watch the articles with us. And I'll just go over here and see if I can increase here. And this is our Facebook link if you want to watch the articles with us. And I'll just go over here and see if I can increase here. And this is our Facebook link. There we go, get that. All right, let's come down.
You're not over far enough. Yeah.
Watch the articles with us, and I'll just go over here. See if I can increase here. Let me just come down here. We'll just. And this is our Facebook link. There we go. That. There we go. All right, let's.
Far enough. Yeah.
Here, and we're.
One of us is echoing, and I just checked, and I've got mine turned off. So
no, that's me. Okay, Huey, you're up.
Yeah, one of us is echoing. Did that get fixed yet?
No, it's fixed.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, let me go over to my Facebook page here. I saw this article, and it was a very interesting article. It's fairly long, but it in essence, it's saying that more than 15 billion images created using text-to-images algorithms since last year.
Mm-hmm.
To put this in perspective, it took photographers 150 years from the first photograph taken in 1826 until 1975 to reach the 15 billion mark. And they've done it now in just in the last few months.
I hope someone's making big hard drives.
I created quite a few of those.
Oh, I have too.
Now, I wondered what I was going to, since Costco is starting to put their Christmas stuff out, I was wondering what I was going to get Huey for Christmas present. And this was the LG now sells this bizarre TV in a suitcase, and it is a must-have. So I thought there you go, Huey. What do you think? That could be your Christmas present, or
and you're also getting me the hatchback because I don't have a hatchback.
You want a car as well?
I want the car as well. Absolutely.
TV is only $1,000, right?
Yeah, and it's a touch screen too, and that's interesting.
It is, yeah. Anyway, all right. Now, Amazon Canada launches huge back-to-school sale. Just if you are now, I don't imagine seniors are going back to school, but if you are looking for printers, any ink and stuff like that, and you're from Canada, then you might want to try that.
Ron, now you're seeing that, correct?
I am. Okay. I am seeing that. We'll come to that in just a minute.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just making.
I can see that. Now, because Bill and I love coffee, this was an article that came out today about coffee and cognitive performance. And Bill, that's why we're so smart, you and I, because we drink a lot of coffee. Now, Bill wasn't here last week or the week before, but I talk about an article on espresso coffee and preventing Alzheimer's disease. Do you guys remember that one? There was an article, and it was a relationship.
I don't, because I don't drink coffee.
There you go. There you go. So, Bill. So this is a second article. So, have your espresso. Have at least one espresso in the morning, and continue drinking lots of. And your memory will be better, and your cognitive performance will be better as well. There you go, eh? What do you think?
You want to produce more videos, drink decaf coffee.
Do the same thing.
It's not the same thing, Bob. And the studies aren't, they're not with these. The UD-caffers may be not so smart.
We'll say, over the years, I've heard controversy about coffee because my dad was a great coffee drinker. And to his dismay, the doctor at one point says, "Mr. James, you're going to have to stop drinking coffee." And of course, that absolutely just, destroyed him. Not mentally, but I mean, the thought process. But anyway, he would come over to my house so he could have a cup of coffee because my mother was watching him like a hawk.
Oh, really? Oh. That would, Bill, you and I have so much coffee equipment in our houses that would I'd change doctors.
I know, I would.
Yeah.
I wonder if that works with Kahlua as well.
No, Huey, it does not. You can't, it does.
Right.
I don't think anyone's got those studies, probably. Anyway, this was an article. Dell's new monitor can transform into a touch display. One of the things, reason I put this up there today is because you may be thinking, do I need maybe your computer is fine and you want to spend a little more money on your systems. The whole monitor thing is huge now, and we're talking about bigger monitors, touch monitors, all sorts of exciting things that you can plug into an existing Chromebook, a PC or whatever. So think about monitors. Lots of really great ideas for monitors out there.
Yeah, when I first got my the first NUC that I had, the fellow who put it together for me in Orlando went ahead and gave me a touch screen, and it was a Scepter was the brand, and it lasted a long time, but it finally gave out. And I went looking to replace it with another touch screen, and boy, they're expensive if you can find them.
Right. This was an article best. One of the things that I think maybe we should do on our Monday show, and we'll do that maybe in the next few weeks, is we should talk maybe about extensions. I don't think people really understand. I mean, we probably do, and maybe the people on the show today, but these are best Gmail extensions everyone should be using. I'm not going to go through those, and you can look at the article and decide what you want. Yeah. But I think people need to know what extensions are, because they're part of Gmail, right? So we should.
They're part of what goes on your browser.
That's right.
These are specific to Gmail. So understand that anytime you put an extension in that interacts with your email, it also has access to your email.
Right. Yeah, I have a lot of extensions, but I don't think I'm using much in the way
of my Gmail. No,
from my Gmail. Yeah,
right. So just it's just an information article that I thought would be interesting. Now, I put this in there. You know why I put this article in there, Huey?
Yeah, because you're in Canada and you can't see it.
No, actually, I can see this.
You can see it now?
I can see it now. I don't know why I couldn't see it earlier. Well, what happened was I don't want to go into the whole Facebook Canada thing that's going on, because that will take us forever to discuss. But I couldn't see this article earlier. It said you're in Canada and you can't see this article. So, but I can see it now. So whatever happened, it works. So anyway, but why did I put this in there? Something
to do with Chromebooks, probably.
Right.
Hey, Bill, it must be your puppy.
Yeah.
It is, of course, Learning Chromebooks this Thursday, right?
That's correct. Not today.
No, in a week's time.
A week from today, yes.
We'll be learning Chromebooks, and Huey and I that's why I put it in there, to remind us, to tell everyone that next Thursday is our Learning Chromebook session. So you do have to register, and you can certainly do that at techforsenior.com, and you can register and come to the show next Thursday. So that's why I put that in there.
Yeah, there's two things I've been looking for in a Chromebook. One is LTE. In other words, it would be able to connect to a cell tower wherever you are, so you could have access to the internet wherever you are and whenever. But they're advertising a few brands and a few models that have it. Most of them don't, and you can't get the ones that they advertise. And then also, I would like maybe a tablet, and the tablets is a type of Chromebook that's going away. And so it looks like they're not following what I want. They're not being very fair to me.
Let's see if I can just make this a little bigger. I put this in there because I knew Murray would be listening today, and he lives in Victoria, and Victoria is a big international airport. Well, Murray, just our little airport, they announced nonstop service to Puerto Vallarta, so we can now go to Mexico nonstop from Comox, which is where I live on Vancouver Island. So I put that in there because I knew Murray was going to be on today, and he lives in Victoria. So Murray, we now have direct flights to Mexico. Bob, this was an interesting article. I put this up there, but do you use Office 365 Copilot?
Mhm.
And they're talking about $30 a month for this.
Well, no, I'm on the beta, so I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, but do you think there'll be a market?
If it was a paid program, I wouldn't be part of it.
Well,
Sorry.
do you guys think there's a market? Like, what do you think, Bill? I mean, Copilot is the new AI that's going to be integrated into Microsoft 365. Do you think there's a market? Like $30 a month is a lot of money.
And I guess that's on top of your regular subscription.
Yeah.
I highly doubt that this is going to be a big winner for them. And eventually you'll probably have it incorporated anyway because they want to keep up with the competition.
Yeah, they in the article it says it's only for the corporate world, and it actually your monthly fee for the Copilot is more a month than it is per user for the Microsoft 365.
Right.
And it's not going to be there's no plans at this point for it to be free or a pricing point for end users.
I'm so enamored with Chat GPT, the open AI one. I'm going to continue using that. It seems to do everything I want it to do.
But Copilot is not the same as Chat GPT, because I tried something in Copilot this morning and it came right back and told me, I'm sorry, I'm not designed for that.
Oh, well, what's this? Oh, okay.
Okay. So it's designed to work together with your stuff in Microsoft Office, all of its applications within Office. And if you need help with that, that's what Copilot's designed for.
So this is Bill. This is since you are getting the new Galaxy Watch 6. I put this in there. We talked about this actually on Huey's show on last Sunday. What was it? Sunday, yeah.
Okay.
And this is how to enable irregular heart rate notifications on the Galaxy Watch 6.
And I will be using that because I have that problem.
That's right. So this is a really important thing that you need to be aware of, that this is available now not only that, but it's available on the iPhone and also the Google's Pixel phone. You want and also the Fitbit series is a regular heart rate notification. It continually monitors your heart and will let you know if you have periods of atrial fibrillation. So this is a really good article, and if you have, particularly if you have a Galaxy Watch 6 or other Galaxy Watches, this is how you set it up. This was interesting. This twerked my thoughts. Fisker Alaska electric truck revealed with 340-mile range, coming in a price of $45,400 US. Might be interesting. This is an interesting one. So I thought that
I'm about to embark on a 4,000 plus mile road trip. And I'm glad it's not an electric one. I'd be looking for some major reroutes and delays. So
right.
Or an awful long extension cord.
Yeah.
We had a question last week on Monday. Someone asked us what the best cell phone or best smartphone to buy now. And then I put this, and this really is, I think personally, the Pixel 7a now is it's on sale all the time, and such a good phone. It's probably the best value now in a phone that you can possibly buy. So that's why I put that up there. I don't know what you guys feel, but I think it's a great phone for a really reasonable price. Huey,
Why is it available from iFixit?
no, it's fixed. The parts are now available, so
Oh,
you can.
I'm sorry.
iFixit will, and that's not the reason I put the article up there, just because we got asked last week, and if anyone's looking for a new phone, then that would be my choice to choose. Would be the 7A. Huey, let's catch up on any comments or questions.
Sure.
Jolin says, I love my Pixel 7A. Yes, Jolin has one. Yep. Vale says, I use a Linux laptop. Of course, I knew Vale would do this. He uses Linux and Windows laptop interface with a ham radio connect to the internet networks, enabling VoIP communications to talk digitally all over the world in real time. Also exploring Raspberry Pi 4 over Wi-Fi. Vale is so smart. I told you. I was used to get, when we went to fix computers, we always, did I tell you the story where Vale actually is a doctor. He's a psychologist. He's got his PhD. He's a doctor. And of course I'm a medical doctor. Vale and I went out to fix some guy's computer in Mesa in our resort. And he was sort of a little nervous because he didn't understand what we did. And we did, of course, this was free through the computer club. And he said, is this free? And we said, no, you've got two doctors here working on your computer. This is going to be expensive. And it turned totally white. I remember that. I don't know if Bill remembers that. I said, you got two doctors working on your computer. Anyway. All right.
We can't fix your computer because we don't know what the problem is. But boy, can we take care of you medically.
I know. Well, yeah, Anyway, Vale figured it out. I couldn't figure it out, but Vale's so smart. He figured it out. Jolin said, still learning it and enjoying the experience.
That's the Pixel 7A.
Yeah. Vale says, this can be also set up from my iPhone using Portable.
And that's up. We're caught up.
We're all caught up? Okay. We're on the home run, guys. So let's fix. This is cool. You can watch the commercial. So this is an article. Do you remember back a number of years ago? Probably this is maybe 15 years ago. Remember those commercials between Windows and Apple? Do you remember way back? And they were so funny. Remember, they were just hilarious. I used to. The only time I ever loved watching commercials, they were really cute. Mm-hmm. And whoever those ads designers were, they did such a good job. Anyway, we're getting this back again, and Pixel and iPhone engage in a little friendly competition, and Google's latest ad. So maybe we'll be seeing some more fun stuff happening, and you can see the ads. You can just click this and look at it. But I thought maybe we're going back to some funny adverts. So anyway, we'll see what they have to say. Hopefully, if Jim's listening from the Bahamas and Chris is listening as well, Google Photos will offer AI assist for collaborating on your favorite memories.
Yeah, but Chris showed us that on the last Tech for Seniors.
I'm not sure if it will. This is the new AI assist.
You're freezing.
I know she showed us. I know she showed us the new collaboration, but I don't. Was that the AI part of it?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And the next one was, now this is scary because
Ron, I'll take it back. This is on the memories. She showed us making the.
So this is different. This is the AI assist collaborating on your memories. So this is I think this is new. This was just out this morning. And
hopefully I don't wind up with a stranger that's a family album.
Well, this could be interesting. So I'm hoping she's going to elaborate more on this. So it should be interesting. Anyway, now we talked about this last week, and this is Western Digital's problem with these SSDs. This is, and they're being sued now. There's a class. It's not a class action, but there's a big lawsuit in California now over the SSD, and this actually is a 2 gigabyte, which I have, and this is the Extreme Pro, and
2 terabyte,
2 terabyte, and it's people are losing their data, and so this is Now, this is actually, if you read the article, this is models. This is the Samsung Extreme Pro, Extreme Portable, Extreme Pro Portable, and My Passport SSD model since January of 2023. Western Digital was sued on Tuesday on behalf of a California resident who claims the solid-state drive he bought from the manufacturer was defective. And they are having all sorts of problems with this. And this particular one is the 2 terabyte. So have you? So I guess
one individual, right, Ron? This is not a class action.
no, it's not a class. This is one,
Okay,
but
so-
this is one of many articles that's been this week about this whole topic.
Unless it's the same person, just getting lots of coverage.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so, because it's being written up by there's been some other articles I've been following. Anyway, just I guess, all as I'm saying is if you do have one of these devices, like Bob always says, back up, make sure you have your data backed up to another source. I guess just let everyone know there is a problem with those.
You might want to feed it some coffee so it doesn't forget.
There you go. Dip it in some coffee.
If you do, I guarantee you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
Now, this was an interesting one. We talked about this before. Google's AI-powered tool summarizes web pages for instant insights. This is really cool, but I don't have this. Do you guys, have we talked about this before?
No, but I've seen it with Chat GPT. Will do the same thing.
Yeah, this is Google's AI-powered tool summarizes web pages for instant insights, and it's called Search Generative Experience (SGE), and it goes on and on.
Get it if you're on beta, right?
Yeah. So have you seen that, Bob?
Yes.
I've seen Chat GPT do this. You can paste in an article and it'll summarize it for you.
Right.
Yeah, I've got a Chrome extension that I paid $5 for that does a summary of any web page that you go to.
So I thought it's just worth sort of keeping it back. I don't have this, but when it comes out, I think this is going to be really cool, right?
Yeah.
I think that's well worth it. And I really want to, because how many times we're going through the news, we want to look at these articles, and it's it goes on and on forever. We just want the meat in them. This would be sort of cool.
So why do writers spend their life writing when AI will put it down to 2 sentences?
Well,
Right.
Some people enjoy reading for reading's sake. I know that they love the printed page. They read it word for word. But some of us don't like to spend the time reading, and I'm one of those people. And I just want to have the summarized. I want to have the digest version.
That's where the TLDR comes in. And TLDR is too long, didn't read. And that's a common phrase. I got some newsletters that are called TLDR, and they shorten up and just talk just a paragraph or so about a real long article. And so
I think it's just an individual preference. And I think my problem stems from grade school days. When I was in 6th grade, I was given a speed reading course, and that was where you scan the document and you picked up all the salient points, and then you had a little quiz at the end and would ask you questions. And I got really good at that. And so,
basically, Security News Roundup, I just give you a little summary and then the link to the actual article.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of, okay, if you want the whole thing, there's the link, go read it. This is just a short description.
A personal.
Yeah, but and I've said for years to some people that write long emails that people only read maybe the first paragraph. They don't read the rest of it.
Correct.
And that's where the too long didn't read comes in. So you don't want to put something at the bottom of one of those long missives that you want somebody to see, because they're never going to read it.
Yeah. And a lot of people, older people particularly, took that class, they scan. So it's a personal preference. But yeah, this is.
All right, Huey. Microsoft is bringing Windows 11 new backup tool to Windows 10. What's this about?
Well, let's see.
You're skipping quite a few articles.
Yeah, you're skipping quite a few.
Oh, I
yeah.
can't see those articles, so I skipped them. I just skipped them through.
Oh, okay. You're in Canada, right?
That's right. I can't see
Okay.
all.
It's saying this content is available.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Microsoft has brought out a new backup for Windows 11, and I have not tried it. I've not even seen it, and they're now extending it to be used with Windows 10.
Oh, okay. Like a
Bob,
backup.
have you
to hard
tried
drive?
it?
I don't know what backup they're talking about.
I don't either. I hadn't.
Me neither.
Okay.
We're going to have to look at this. Is in beta news, so it's something that's being tested, I guess.
Bob, are you out in space again, or what's going on here?
Yes,
Yeah,
this
he's
time-
out.
this
He's
time
out of
I'm
this
going
world
to-
for sure.
I'm going to Jupiter's moon, Europa.
All right. Okay. Now this is really interesting. I just Huey, you are right on the mark. I just got 116 yesterday, so you are right on the mark.
Yeah, and actually it was released yesterday, and I was playing with Pictory, and I tried something a little bit new. So if you watch it, it's only 2 minutes and some odd seconds, but I'm not putting all of the words on the screen. And I tried it. It took a little bit longer to make the video, but I like the way it turned out. So take a look
If you
at
want to
it.
watch the video, watch our show on Monday because I'm
Yeah, we're going to show it on Monday.
we're going to show it on Monday. There you go. Bob, what the exact moment what is this all about?
What's the exact moment you realized humans were not going to make it as a species?
Yeah, I love that. Open box before eating
Right.
pizza.
Open your box before eating pizza. Okay. You know, I guess there's enough idiots in the world that you have to do this kind of stuff.
You got to be kidding. Someone would not with it. I don't believe it.
And I read an article where someone called the pizza shop and complained about the pizza being, and there was no toppings on it, and it looked burnt in some places. And they said, turn it over.
Mhm. Mhm.
Turn the box over. They had it upside down.
They had it upside down. Bob, how to make your laptop run faster?
Yep. It's just an article that gives you information about how to speed up your laptop.
All right. A little morning fun, Pixel and iPhone. Oh, so you put that one up as well, yeah. So it's going to be a little fun to watch these ads coming for sure. Deceptive world of web-based adware. Is that that's a video you did?
Yes.
Okay, great. Undoubtedly, we'll be certainly showing that on Monday. On it may be on Monday. We'll see how that works. Let's see. Here was the article that we based our talk on. We talked about that. New design for Apple Watch. What else? Using the ad blocker. Yeah, YouTube's getting really tough on ad blockers. So on and so forth.
The only thing that they're not doing is you have creators who now incorporate ads within their videos. They're doing the advertising, and I hate that stuff.
Right.
I'm paying not to have ads, and they're making it a part of their video. Sorry, that's not.
That's part of their monetization.
Yeah, and Facebook's gotten even worse with it. In those shorts, they call them reels. Right. It'll play so long, and then just towards the end, before you get to see what you really want to see, they put an ad in there.
Yep.
So just before the final comments, how to update your Android apps. I thought this is a really good article on if you do on how to update your Android apps. Now they will ultimately update themselves, but this is how to do it on an individual basis, and it's just a good article. Huey, do you have any? I'm going to stop sharing the screen because we are just about out of time. Have we got any final comments?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we showed this one before.
Phil says this can also be set up from my. Yes, we did.
Yep.
Okay.
Jolin says, I definitely worth having multiple backups locally and in the cloud. Good advice. Jolin says, I have it on my Google search. It's part of labs, I think.
That's correct.
I fast forward.
We're talking about the experimental stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to be part of labs in order to have access.
Jolin says, I fast forward through those ads, Bob.
Yeah, but that's too much work. You shouldn't.
You can't.
You're paying $13 now a month to have no ads on YouTube videos.
And you can't do it in the reels. There's no fast forward. There's no forwarding at all.
Yeah, but those are different ads. Those are actually inserted. The ones I'm talking about is the creator himself talks about products during his. Okay, I have ads on mine, but that's a different story. Those that get blocked, those do not get shown if you're paying for YouTube. The ones we're talking about are the ones that the creators themselves incorporated within the video.
As a matter of fact, they do it rather sneakily. They will morph into it as they're talking and say, "Oh, by the way, I have this wonderful new product," or whatever, and they just,
that annoys the heck out of me.
Wax eloquently about it, and then they get out of it and go back to what they were doing.
But then I guess the difference is I get one check every 4 months. They get 4 checks every day. So,
All right. So Jolin says, thanks, guys. Nice show today. See you next week and learning Chromebooks. All right. And Jolin says, but it is by their sponsors or their sponsors. Yeah. All right. Listen, that's it's top of the hour. We've done it. Another show.
Well, thank you, guys. I enjoyed it.
Thanks, Bill. Yep. We always enjoy having you here. You're so smart.
Appreciate that. We'll see on Monday.
Yeah, we'll see everybody on Monday. Don't forget the Monday show, and we're gonna have lots of fun. And of course, we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Ray Baxter will be back next week. He's off camping, getting bitten by bugs and probably has sunburn and all that sort of stuff but he will see how he is when he gets back, and he'll be back next week. So we will see everybody either Monday or Thursday. Have a great week. Bye now.
Bye,
everybody.